Welcome to the Flymen Fishing Show, where we talk fly fishing, fly tying, and everything in between. I'm your host, Scotty Davis.
That's a healthy beard.
Thanks, man. Trying to get ready for winter. Minnesota, it's coming.
Yeah, I bet it's cold already.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty warm lately. I mean, we've had a few cold spells, but it's slowed fishing down a little bit for smallmouth. But yeah, it's starting to warm up a little bit.
Is that what you've been doing lately, smallmouth?
Yep, smallmouth and trout. We just we had a big trout camp that we do the beginning of the summer, and then the end. And yeah, we had 13 people out. There's
nice.
Beginners to intermediate. And take them out, teach them, and yeah.
So it's like a learning camp, not like 13 dudes at a fish camp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a little less intense, and we have some guys that know what they're doing. They come just to have fun, and yeah, it's a great deal.
It's nice. And you do that with through Bob Mitchell's?
Yeah, Bob Mitchell's Fly Shop, and now actually Evan Griggs, the head guide, he started his own business, so he's the outfitter now called Fishing for All. So that's kind of how that's working now.
Nice. And that runs through the shop, or are those separate?
Yep, all through the shop.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long you been with those guys?
Gosh, this is going to be, we were just talking about it, I'm going to be going on to my 6th season with them. So, I'm kind of a green guide. I've been fly fishing for, gosh, what has it been? Almost 10 years now. Fishing all my life. I grew up in northeastern Iowa, spin fishing for trout in the driftless area, and then coming up here to Leech Lake, and fishing for bass and muskie and pike and stuff with my dad. So
nice. So you grew up going to that area when you were a kid?
Yeah. So kind of my story, right out of high school, I actually was in a full-time touring band, played heavy metal music, and kind of got out of fishing, for a while. And then, I'd go back here and there with my dad. But like I said, about 10 years ago, it really started kicking off when I was at a Cabela's. I had a compound bow in my hand and a fly rod, and I went with a fly rod, and here we are.
Yeah. You can suck at fly fishing and still have fun. If you suck at bow hunting, you're not going to eat.
No, you're not going to eat. I've got a friend that I actually got into fly fishing really big, and he's going to be bow hunting this season. And yeah, that guy's always head first in everything he does. He just picks it up, and he's good at it. We all have those friends that they don't even have to try; they're just good at it. So.
Yeah, I hate those people.
Yeah, right.
Did you ever get the bow, or did you just stick with the fly fishing? I
just stuck with the fly fishing. Once I got, it was probably 3 years in, I started, going to the shop and stuff. And I actually asked Robert Hawkins, I was like, what does someone need to do to become a guide? And he talked to me about Sweetwater Travel Guide School out in Montana. And, they were actually looking for an instructor at the time. And he's like, would you want to do that? And so I took that on. Then I actually went out and took the course at Sweetwater Travel Guide School and spent 7 days on the Yellowstone River learning how to row drift boats and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, it was an awesome experience.
Yeah, that's great something experience. We don't really see out east, or at least saltwater guiding and stuff. There's no school, there's no accredited school to do it. Should be, but there's not. So,
yeah, and Robert and Rio were like, you don't have to do that, but I thought someone that's pretty green, I was like, I at least want to show them that I'm serious, and have some kind of backing, knowing how to row a drift boat. I mean, if you're taking clients, right, you want to make sure that you're on top of your game and not just some guy that's out there not knowing what they're doing. So
yeah, it's not easy. Yeah. First time I did it, my buddy's like, you want to try it? I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, I'd love to. I was going in circles. I was banging into everything. And the next day,
man,
couldn't tie my shoes the next day. I was so sore.
Yeah, when you're so used to canoeing and stuff, I did that a lot. But that pulling, right? That's what's so different. I was like, gosh, I just couldn't figure it out. But I tell you what, once you got on that Yellowstone River, you figured it out real quick. So,
So when's your guiding season start?
It starts, gosh, we're May, I would say. That's when I'm part-time. So, I do roughly, this season's been pretty busy for me. I do about 15 trips this year. and that's with classes
Yeah.
too. So yeah.
What kind of classes y'all teaching?
So they're doing like we call it fly fishing college. We do like beginner, where you're talking from anywhere from flies all the way to rods down the line. It's great. And then we take them out, we do some casting, and then we actually take them fishing too. So we flip over rocks, showing the bugs, just so we can build some confidence in these folks. I think when people think of fly fishing, they think of Brad Pitt, and it's the hardest thing in the world. But I've learned it's just different, right? It's
right.
We've got to pick it up and learn. So
that's cool. Yeah. And that's what the camp was, kind of a beginner's intro camp kind of deal.
Perfect example. You had a person that never casted, but by the end of the course, we had them roll casting. We were 2 days out there, Saturday and Sunday, but she could barely, hit 5 feet with a roll cast, and by the end of the weekend she's doing it. And that's what's so awesome about this whole thing.
Yeah and like you said, inspiring the confidence. There's fish there for them too. They're fishing on
yeah we so where we were at was in Preston, Minnesota. It's the Root River. We stay at this place called the Old Barn Resort, I believe it's called. And yeah, man, it's right there, pretty much walking distance if you wanted to. And it's great stretch of water over there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you start in May, are you guiding for trout or smallmouth?
We start for trout, and then, gosh, I believe the smallmouth season starts right after Mother's Day. So we start going on there, and yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Nice. What do you prefer to guide for?
Man, if I had to choose, it'd be smallmouth. I love it. I mean, it's funny because the head guy, we became really good friends, but I was a specific trout guy. Like I was like, only trout. Like I just love trout. And then he's like, man, you gotta learn smallmouth. And after that, I was sold. I was just like, put me in a drift boat and let me take people out for smallmouth.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's a different animal.
It really is, and then you get lucky and you pick up a pike or something like that. People just go haywire over it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, when I grew up, we had none of that. No smallmouth, no pike, no delicious walleye, really no trout even. So
yeah, because what are you guys specific? You're just specifically saltwater, right?
Yeah, we're on the coast, so here it's redfish.
Okay.
I grew up inland and about an hour, so I grew up just largemouth and brimfish and panfish, things like that. But stripers a little bit. But
awesome. That's great. That's
redfish country here.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I'm itching. I'm itching to get out there and try that.
If you can catch a carp, you will destroy redfish.
Yeah, I can do that a little bit. We do actually offer urban trips, we call them, and Evan's that's one of his favorite fish is carp. And again, it's one of those things where you're like, really, carp? When you first get started in the game, and now it's like it's an awesome fish to experience.
Who would have thought that'd be the glamour species 10 years ago?
Right?
Stinky ass carp.
Yeah, it's funny. You have like beginners that are like, I thought you could only fish for trout, fly fish for trout, and we're like, no, you can fish for it all. And that's
nice.
The fun part of it too.
You did some stuff with TU in the classroom, the Trout Unlimited in the classroom as well?
Yep. So Evan was, he ran that, our head guide, actually, he was the teacher for that. And we'd come in and teach them how to tie. That was, man, seeing those kids, like you see the frustration and the tears, right? But then you just see the smiles on their faces when they can figure out that half hitch knot and tying that woolly bugger. It's, gosh, that feeling you can't get enough of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Y'all went into local schools around St. Paul and did it?
Yeah, St. Paul and Minneapolis. He did it pretty much all over, the metro area. He even went up to Duluth and did some stuff. But yeah, I did some of that in our metro area. And man, it's great. I love it.
They still doing that program to you?
He's actually not, because Evan's actually guiding full time and really focusing on his fishing for all. And then, fishing for all, right? You hear that, and it's like really literally everyone. And he's developing courses for kids, and he's going to be doing some ice fishing and that type of stuff. So, I mean, he's got a lot of great stuff on the docket for us coming up.
Nice. Yeah, you wrote a good blog for Flymen on fishing with kids.
Yeah, man. I think that's one of the huge things for me too, is, getting these kids involved and teaching them early, because it teaches them patience. That was actually my son and my best friend's son as well. And, we took them out, and it's so much fun to be able to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How old's your son?
He's 15 now. Yeah. Like I was talking about, we shot a video too. I don't know if you saw that. I can email it to you, but we did a thing. Yep. Yeah. We did that. And man, that was a lot of fun to experience that, see the kids get, they're frustrated, but they're also having a good time. Like I think I said in my article, I think it's really about just letting them be kids, right? Like I think we get so infatuated about catching fish or getting the biggest fish, when really these kids just want to have fun and throw rocks and enjoy it.
Be kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy this morning because I took my son this weekend. We caught a bunch of sea trout. They were just every cast he was catching them. Not every cast, but it was damn good, And he's like, I want to get my kids out, but I just don't want to go and it suck, Well, let them take their iPad, let them take their toys, don't tell them not to. And then when you start catching fish, I guarantee you the electronics are going off and they'll start.
Yeah.
Don't blame them on that. Like you said, let them skip rocks and jump in the water. And
we did a lot of that. Yeah. And my dad he's been fishing that area for over 30 years, so it was awesome getting all of us together and doing that, hopefully here, because that's almost been like 6-7 years ago. So it'd be great to redo that with the kids now that my son's 15. And
yeah, he didn't look 15 then.
No. Yeah, he's really big into skateboarding. That's what he does now. So trying to get him out of the water. We got out together this summer chasing smallmouth, and put a spin rod in his hand. He just loved it, man. It was great.
You still skate as well?
I never skateboarded. I mean, I was in the music scene big, like I said. All my friends did. I did a little bit of BMXing, and I'm embarrassed to say I did used to rollerblade.
Yeah, well, it happens. Speaking of BMX, I'm sure you're roughly my age, but I know you remember the movie Rad.
Yeah, of course.
So I think it's October 16th that they're replaying it in theaters across the country. Like one night only, they're playing Rad in the theaters.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, that sounds sweet. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I loved that movie. Oh, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, you do. What you said you were in a heavy metal band?
Yeah. So actually, we play our first show back in October out in Pittsburgh. So yeah. So it was called Too Pure to Die. We're actually a straight edge hardcore band. I don't drink or anything like that. So I remember being the guy coming into fly fishing too, and it's like this, like, oh, everyone's having beer, and it's like, well, hey, I'm here to make sure you get home all right.
Right. Yeah. Trucker hats and shitty beer going.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in Iowa, man, I was like one of 5 guys that didn't drink, and we were making sure all of our buddies got home safe, and we'd go out partying together and still have a great time.
Hell yeah. So, don't need alcohol, especially when you're fishing.
Yeah, right. I can just get up a little bit earlier, right?
Right. A little bit better too.
Yeah.
So your son's, I remember in that, you're talking about that video. I don't remember if it was your son or the other kid, but I remember somebody asking him, what do you remember most about today? Or what did you like most? He said fishing with his dad. That kind of.
Yeah, that was my son. Yeah, that was Payton.
That was awesome.
Yeah, man, it was cool to see that. That I will never forget that moment, just having those kids out there. I mean, I think there's a point in that video where you see both of them, setting, they both have fish on, and gosh, it's a cool thing to see, Yeah, I think, that's the one thing about Bob Mitchell's Fly Shop and Evan Fishing for All is, we literally want to get everyone out there, from, the kids to anyone, and just building that community, I think, is what's important for us.
Super important.
Yeah.
That shop seems like a cool home base too. Lots of dogs running around, and just,
yeah.
I've never been there, but it seems like a cool vibe.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. I mean, Robert and Rhea are great. Like I said, I was real green to fly fishing, and Robert gave me a shot to come on board, and it's been amazing ever since. It's been a great learning opportunity, and yeah, those folks are great.
Meet lots of weirdos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. They live right by that the train. You'll get some folks that come from the homeless folks will come through there. It's you'll get some of that.
Yeah. When does your season shut down?
Oh, let's see. Smallmouth season will start slowing down here, and then trout season actually in Minnesota will end October 15th. And that's for Wisconsin too, or maybe that's Wisconsin. Sorry, I get them all mixed up. But what's nice is Iowa's open all year round for trout fishing. So we'll head down there and we'll start fishing there in November. So yeah.
Is it shut down? Is it state regulated shut down, or is it?
Yep. So they, trout season closes in October for us here in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
And then then winter is basically fly tying season and classes.
Yep. We got fly tying classes, and then, like I said, I'll head down to Iowa. My dad has a stationary camper in Iowa, right on the trout stream there. So I'll head down there and I'll fish. And yeah, we've been exploring more of what's called the Upper Iowa here, and man, there's so much room for potential. It's a beautiful stretch of water. The limestone bluffs and stuff. It's great.
Awesome. And that's trout water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. They say there's lower there's some smallmouth, but I would consider it more trout water. So
nice. Yeah. Talking about winter tying, a buddy of mine moved to St. Paul area, and he has to come in the shop. His name's Justin Bowman.
Okay.
You ever heard of that guy? He's a cop here. I think he was some sort of cop here. He went back, real tall guy.
Yeah. I know Justin. I've fished with him. I haven't seen him in a minute, but great guy.
He ties incredible good flies.
Man, that guy's flies are amazing.
And circling back on your love of rollerblading, I think his girlfriend or wife was on like a roller derby team here.
Oh yeah, they have that here. Roller derby's huge in Minnesota. Yeah. It's a big thing here. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So how long have you been what's that?
I said, tell him, I said, hey, if you ever run into him.
Yeah, man, I haven't seen him in a minute. Yeah, I'll let him know. I'll let him know that I chatted with you. That'd be great.
Oh yeah.
So how long have you been in the industry then?
I started guiding in Alaska when I was pretty little. I don't know.
Okay.
How old? Maybe 19 or 20.
Okay.
Started guiding in Charleston, and then started a fly shop here because there was so many guides in Charleston at the time. I was one of 500 guides. And I was the only guy that did fly fishing charters, trying to kind of set myself apart. And then just the shop was kind of just a natural progression for that. So I did that for about a little over 10 years. And then right as I was closing, Flymen had moved from Brevard basically down here. So it was
awesome.
He asked if I knew somebody that could help run it. And I was like, well, I'd love to come talk to you.
So. That's awesome. Yeah, your guys' stuff is great. I love tying with the material. It's awesome stuff, man.
Use those heads for the smallmouth?
Yeah, I do. I like them a lot. Yep.
Yeah, we got some new colors and new sizes coming out too, so it should be good.
Yeah, the double barrels.
Yeah,
I like those a lot. I'll have to admit I am a boogle bug guy, but man, those double barrels, I like using those a lot too.
Boogle bug paint jobs with a jam.
Yeah, right.
That guy's good.
They're really good. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
You ever do any ice fishing?
I've tried it. My ADD can't handle that, man. That's why.
I guess if you don't drink too, there's really no reason to do that.
Yeah, right. Like I have a buddy that he does it quite a bit, and he took me out. I mean, I caught a nice big pike when we went, but man, I just sitting in that box and just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I'm like, man, if I'm gonna be cold, I'll just walk down to Iowa and make sure I can go up and down the stream rather than being stuck.
Right. Yeah, Minnesota does it legit. I've seen the pictures of like the tournaments where it's thousands of people out there and little roads, and they'll deliver pizzas to your shack out there, shanties or whatever you call them. But that's what I want to do. I got friends that invited me to do it, and pictures, and they're just sitting on buckets with tip ups. I'm like, nah, dude, that's not grumpy old men. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, a guy that I work with, actually, he has one of like the $20,000 to $30,000 cabins or whatever that has the hydraulics that will drop.
Oh wow.
And he can just sit in there. Yeah, it's like a camper. I'm like, I could probably do that. That would be sick.
That's what
cool.
I don't want to rough it, you know.
No,
I didn't even know what a parka was until I was like 25 years old.
Yeah, right. You guys don't have to worry about being cold down there.
I'd get ruined out there.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's coming. I'm not ready for it. But yeah, and then I'll go. So my in-laws live in Rapid City, South Dakota. So I fish out there quite a bit. The trout fishing out there is phenomenal. I've been lucky enough to do a hosted trip and do some guiding out there too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great place. If you've never been, it's awesome.
No, I've seen pictures. It does look incredible. I'm not a big hunter, but
yeah, yeah, it's an amazing place. Like I said, my buddy that, the kid that just picks up everything, he's great at it. He caught his first 28-inch brown on a size 10 Morris mouse out there night fishing.
Damn right.
He'd only been fly fishing for like a year.
So you can legally night fish there. Some states won't let you do that.
Yeah. Oh, really? I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I know Georgia, where it was kind of one of our closer places to trout fish. There's only one stream they'll let you do it in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We'll throw the mice at night, and that's heart stopping.
Yeah, man. I've been able to do a couple guided trips at night here on the Rush River, and we've got our clients into a couple of them. Man, they just hearing that like toilet bowl flush is just unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. That I would say that's one of my favorite trips to do is take folks out mousing. That's been an awesome trip.
Yeah. Would you go to full moon or light moon? I know it makes a difference.
Yeah, so we'll go to full moon. Of course, I remember the first one I did, this was it last season. Of course, we got a gnarly thunderstorm, and I'm like, hey guys, we should probably watch this. And they're like, no, we're fine. And of course, like the storm just came in. We had to like bolt out of there and had to reschedule the trip. But we got one in the bag before it got too hairy. But man, yeah. That's
predominantly browns eating at night.
Yep.
Are you wading or are you taking boats down there?
Yep. We're wading. Yep. Walk wading. Yep. And we're fortunate to have a little stretch of private land where we can just kind of park on, and we really know the area, especially walking in. And what I try to do is get folks in there, before dark, right? And we'll do some nymph fishing or, whatever hatch is coming off, we'll try to take care of that and get them some fish. And then when the dark starts, we'll start moving on to mice and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, we do a lot of night fishing under dock lights down here. That's my drug of choice.
That sounds awesome, man.
If she'd let me do it every night, I'd give it all up and just fish at night, but it ain't happening.
Yeah. Have you do you guys do that on the boat at all?
Yeah, we're off the boats.
Oh, okay.
So
awesome.
Generally, if you find like the richer neighborhoods, the people put those submerged green dock lights generally off their dock. So if they're sitting enjoying their wine or whatever, their dinner, they can look out and watch the fish swimming through. And it's nasty, man. It's almost not fun. It's so good because the challenge is just not there. If you can find the light, it's incredibly good.
That's awesome.
I like it when it's not a challenge.
Yeah, man. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. Yeah, right.
It's good. But I started doing that on the lakes where I grew up for like largemouth and stripers, and then down here the trout and redfish are incredible under those. And then Florida, you can go get snook and tarpon. It's just, but
yeah, I need to get out there and try that. I haven't fully grasped the musky itch or bug, so to speak. I mean, got a buddy that just tries to, take me every time, and I'm like, oh, man. I mean, it's cool, right? But I like catching fish, man. Right. So it's probably a good thing I didn't take that bow because, man, I would have been real bored.
Yeah. Throwing a cockatiel sized streamer all day. In weight. That sounds great.
Yeah. But
yeah, I've been musky fishing maybe 6 times. And on the last time I went, we saw one, and it was like seeing a ghost, because I just wasn't ready for it. That's a surreal looking fish, like an alligator, just not normal looking. Yeah,
right. I mean, they're awesome fish. Like I was with one of our guides. He took my son and I out, and we were fishing, and he's like, just throw one. And I hit this spot. He had one eat. It was an awesome eat, but we missed him. And then I threw one out, and I had one on. I'm like, oh, it's it. This is it. And it was a pike, and I just shrugged over like, oh. But yeah, and I'm like, hey, at least it's a fish, right? So.
Yeah, I'll probably get slammed for saying this, but I think pike are prettier. You know, they have that more of that camouflage, the green, and
yeah, I like that too. I think that's sweet. I love that. Yeah.
plus they can't catch a muskie, so they suck. So
Yeah, yeah, right. I always say they're not real. I mean, again, I'll probably get in trouble for that saying that, but I don't believe in them.
Minnesota unicorns.
Exactly. You have to believe, man. You have to believe. You know.
Yep.
I will. We did a steelhead camp up in Duluth, and I just was there helping out, and you know, that's what they said though. They're like, hey, you know, one of our expectations, all you clients believe that you're going to catch fish. And, you know, I would say we had, I think 4 to 6 folks, and I think 4 or 5 out of 6, actually, they caught their first steelhead. So it was cool, man. Yeah.
When you do that in miserable weather.
Yeah. That was in April, I believe. Yeah.
So you have all your rivers don't ice over, do they?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
Obviously not. If you're fishing, that was a dumb question.
Nah, never a dumb question, man.
Yeah, right. Not for me.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we and let's see. So Wisconsin opens up again in, like, I believe it's the second week of January for us for trout fishing. So yeah, but again, like, I'm usually just heading down to Iowa if I'm fishing in the winter, beat the crowds.
Yeah.
You know,
How far is that drive for you?
it's like 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, yep, not bad at all.
Yeah.
So
you still have family down there?
Yep. They live in Shell Rock, Iowa. And where we're fishing at is, I don't know if you've heard of Dakota, Iowa. It's where Luther College is. Yeah, it's a cool little town. They have
hilly country.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You'd see it and you'd be like, gosh, I can't believe this is Iowa. It's beautiful.
Nice. So what took you to Michigan from there?
To Minnesota.
Oh yeah, Minnesota. Sorry.
Yeah. So again, playing in the band and stuff. Like when I graduated, started the band. Then I came up here. We were touring on and off, and then for my son's mom, I went back home, and then after we split, I just came up here and lived ever since. So nice. I love this place.
Yeah.
So
you don't mind the winters, obviously.
Nah, I mean, trust me, I'd much rather be someplace where it's warm, but I don't mind it all that much.
That's a brutal trade-off, though. You try to be in those warm places in the summer, and it's hell with a screen door, you know.
Right. Yeah, we had some friends that actually just moved here from California, and they were like, "So how's this winter?" And we're like, "Oh, it's not bad." And they found out it was real bad.
Does it snow?
We just told them that because we don't want to move. Right. Yeah.
It does snow a lot there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. We had a snowstorm here, I guess about 2 or 3 years ago, and we got 7 inches at our house, which is the biggest one in my lifetime. And the whole state has 2 snowplows. So we had to borrow snowplows from as far as Tennessee to try to clean the roads up. It was just brutal. Like I couldn't, cabin fever, something fierce.
Oh man, everything shuts down too, right?
Oh yeah, the schools shut down, like the grocery stores. I think where the grocery stores were open, but you couldn't drive there. The ice was so bad on the roads. It was just, even people from up north were like, "Yeah, this is bad," you know, because usually we hear all the shit from them. "Oh, you Southerners just don't know how to drive." I'm like, "Well, you live here now, so obviously you didn't like it either."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
You fishing this week?
This week? No, I'm not. I got 2 guide trips. Yeah, I got 2 guide trips, trout trips. I got a 6-hour trip on Saturday and then another trip on Sunday. So
those are wade trips too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you do boat trips at all?
Yep. I've got a stealth craft Aftermath. Yeah, I love that boat. It's a great boat. That's what I fishing for smallmouth out of, and yeah, love it.
A lot of those stealth crafts have motors on them, right?
Yeah, I can put a motor on mine if I want. I just haven't done it yet.
So. Yeah, I know here, once you put a motor on it, then you got to start paying taxes. But if it's human propelled, it's fine. You don't even have to register it. So it's just canoe.
Yeah, that's one thing. If you do, so you have to have your captain's license here if you want to use a motor. So on our river.
A Coast Guard captain license?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, because I just went out again with our guide, and he was showing me, going on the jet boat, and I was just like, man, you definitely need to know what you're doing. I'll stay behind those oars. I'm fine.
Those things are hairy, man.
Yeah, I'm always, you want all of it, right? You want the jet boat, you want the raft, you want the drift boat. But man, it's going over those, inch of water in that jet boat. It's, man, it makes you pucker. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We used to have a little John boat with a jet motor in Alaska, and we did things in that were so unholy, and we should not have lived, and flipped it, pulled it back out, and went again,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dumb kids.
Yeah.
What instrument do you play in the band?
I was a vocalist.
Nice.
Yep, vocalist. Yeah.
Y'all are still playing?
Yep. We have, like I said, we'll be playing Pittsburgh October 9th. So we have our first show back since the pandemic. We haven't played since then. So fly out on Wednesday and, rehearse a bit and get after it.
Bitching. Are all the guys from St. Paul?
They're actually from Des Moines. So actually 2 of them are from Des Moines. And then the other one is from Minneapolis here. And then our drummer, he lives in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
Yeah. He owns a church there that has shows and a record store inside. So
nice. A church that plays heavy metal?
Yep. Well, it was a church, and then he transformed it into like a venue and a record shop. It's pretty sweet.
Makes a little more sense, I guess.
Yeah, right.
How long y'all been playing together?
Oh gosh, we've been playing together since I was like 18. So going on 20 years on and off. When my son was born, I quit for a bit, and they kept going, and and then probably like 3-4 years ago, we wrote a new EP, 4-song EP, and then put that out and played a few shows here and there just to kind of get back together and get in a groove. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And
y'all play around St. Paul too? We
used to, yeah. We used to play here quite a bit, but with the pandemic that slowed things down. And that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of cool with what you see, like with the music scene and fly fishing scene. It kind of overlaps, right? Like you'll see these guys that play music and they also fly fish. Like Chuck Reagan, being a fly fishing guy, he played in a punk rock band. For me, growing up, was one of my favorite bands, Hot Water Music, and it's just cool to kind of see that community kind of overlap. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely not hardcore, but I know Clapton's a big fan too.
yeah, right. Two different worlds probably, but it's we probably ran across the same path at some point. Like I know some of my friends from the Florida area knew those guys quite a bit. Yeah, it's always a small world, I think, even in fly fishing too. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, sweet, man. I appreciate you talking to us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I know it's a great opportunity for me. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm still kind of a green guide and all that, but just having you guys, reach out and spend the time to chat with me really means a lot.
Oh yeah, man. We're very happy to do it. And we'll put links of all your stuff too.
Okay. Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Do you have a specific guide service, or if people want to book you, they go through the shop?
They can, they can hit me up on Instagram or just go through the shop too. That's fine. So yeah, man.
We'll push them your way.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Take care. All right.
Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Later.